Well, I hope you enjoyed that song, Away in a Manger. I don't hardly ever video myself playing. Uh, kind of hard to believe I used to do a 2 hour concert, and now then I can't even play three songs without being completely wore out. I can't see straight. But I just wanted to play you a little song and hope you liked it. This is Preacherman Piper, old Doc Hatfield, part of the Hatfield McCoy feud. But now, let me tell you a little bit about that. My granddad was Buster Hatfield. My grandmother was May McCoy. When the feud really ramped up, they were told they could not see each other ever again. When she went home that one particular day, her daddy told her, said, you can't ever go back and see him again. And when he went home, my great-grandfather, Devilance Hatfield, said, you can't ever see her again. Well, they had a place where they would go where nobody knew where it was, where they were, so they could be together. So that night, he snuck out, she snuck out, they met each other, they told each other what happened, and then they decided they're just going to take off. So that's what they did. He was 16, she was 15. They ran over to her daddy's place and got a horse and headed west. After about a year, they ended up in Oklahoma. And that's where I was born. I was born in Oklahoma. And so people would say to me, say, well, are y'all still feuding? How can I? I mean, I'm a 50-50. Half of half. Kind of like that half and half tobacco. Yeah. So anyway, that's how I came to be, was them running off like that. They did not get to see any of their family for over 30 years. So, let's go on from there. I was raised in an independent fundamental Baptist church. It was a hardshell Baptist church. We were taught that it was wrong to drink, it was wrong to smoke, it was wrong to talk to those who do. It was wrong to for women to wear pants. They couldn't wear pants. Men couldn't wear colored shirts to church. They had to wear white shirts, black ties, black suit. So it was a real strict people. And it got so bad with men after church going out in front of the church and smoking. They had a great big giant oak tree out there in the front. I mean, it covered half of the front. It was just the greatest shade tree you'd ever see. They'd go out there under that tree and they'd smoke after they come out of church. Well, somebody said something about that one time. Said, "Don't you think that's a bad testimony for our church?" And my dad said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, what? How can we stop them from doing that?" Well, my dad called 2 or 3 people and said, "Come up here. I want you to do something for me." And they went up there and they said, "What? Cut that tree down." "You want us to cut that oak tree down?" "Cut that oak tree down." "Now?" "Yeah, now. Cut that oak tree down." Took them all week long to get it cut down and get it taken away and all that. The next Sunday they went out there to smoke and there was nothing. They was just out in the open. They felt guilty about that, so they quit smoking there. And then they went out in the back in the alley and they'd smoke back there. So they wouldn't get caught. But now they knew that my dad knew that. But I always thought that was funny. We had a we had a dinner across the road from our church one time, and uh, there was a deacon out there, and he had a chicken leg in his hand. He was holding it up. He said, "Bless God, I want you to know before the foundation of the world, God ordained I should eat this chicken leg." And here I come running, just lickety split up behind him, jumped up there, grabbed that chicken leg, and I said, "You better check your theology." I mean to tell you, he took off after me and never did get his chicken leg, though. I wasn't very mean when I was a kid. There was a time, though, that uh, we had a lot of trouble with cats getting in the back of the church, and we had the restrooms back there, and then there was the men's restroom was open, and it was open underneath the platform. And so you could go back there and get under the platform and do whatever work you needed to do, and it was all right. But had a hard time with them cats coming in there and getting under that platform. They'd have to run them out all the time. So my dad got some stuff called High Life, and he'd go back there and he'd hold them cats up by the tail and pour that High Life on their tail and throw them out in the alley, and they'd take off down that alley, lickety split, jumping in and out of trash barrels over and over and over and over and over again till they disappeared. Well, one Sunday night, I was sitting on the front with two other kids. I was about 10 years old. And I went back there to go to the restroom. And when I come back, this kid had a cat. He said, "We caught that cat in there fixing to go underneath that platform." I said, "You did?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I'll show you how to get rid of that cat." I reached up there and got that High Life. Now, I didn't know that he didn't put very much on there. It didn't take very much to do it. I just doused that cat with High Life. That cat jumped, jumped way up in the air, come back down, did an about face, run inside that church, and run under that platform. Well, me and two other boys, we just went right on back out, sat down on the front seat, just sitting there, just as somber as could be. Now, the problem was, there was an air grate right down on the front of that platform, and it had been taken off, so it was open. Well, about that time, a music director from a town 10 miles away walked in the back door, and when he walked in, he was standing at the back door. My dad was just preaching, just going at it. And about that time, my dad said, "Let me tell you right now, the devil's going to get you." And about that time, that cat zoomed out of that air grate, jumped right in the middle of the people in the middle aisle, and they scattered like you wouldn't believe. People went everywhere. That cat just kept jumping and jumping and jumping until it jumped right on that old boy back there. And it jumped off him and run right out the door. Everybody was just crazy now, except for me and my two friends. We was just sitting there just as somber as could be, not making a sound, not making a hoopla or nothing. My dad looked over there. He didn't say nothing. But when I got home that night, I went in and I crawled into bed, and I thought, well, he's not going to say nothing. Well, you know, I no longer crawled in that bed. He waited till I had my clothes off and just in my little underwears, and he come in there and snatched me out of that bed and beat me half to death with a razor strap. And when he got done, he said, "Now, are you going to use that High Life on any cats now?" He didn't wait for no answer, because he knew I wouldn't. And so There was never another cat underneath the platform ever again. So other than that, I wasn't too mischief of a preacher's kid. Uh, but I've got quite a few stories like that. But I just wanted to say this to you, and then I'm going to let you go. Folks, this right here, the warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an additive chemical. That's a lie. That is a lie. Now, if you smoke a cigarette, you'll produce about 7,000 different chemicals. 69 of those chemicals are cancer-causing chemicals, and that's the reason people die from smoking cigarettes. It is not true with pipe tobacco. It's not true with pure tobacco cigars. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. And I just wanted to point that out to you because a lot of people gets worried. You think this ever bother me? No. It won't bother you that way. So, let's see. What else? Oh, I had some questions. Here. Barbed Wire Piper said, does it matter what leaf of tobacco you smoke? No. None whatsoever. Do all the tobacco varieties help the same? Yep, they certainly do. What about the thickness and the smoothness of the smoke? Well, let me say it this way. I can tell when a tobacco is strong, and I can tell when it's light. I can tell when it's smooth and when it's not. And so I like to gravitate to Latakias. I like Mississippi River a lot because it's real strong. So I like to gravitate to Latakias, Orientals, dark-fired Kentuckys, and Periques, and things like that. Then another fellow by the name of Uncle Phil's Cellar want to know about acidic and alkaline tobaccos, and those do not bother me in the least bit. Neither one of them matter. As long as it's pure tobacco, then I'm fine. Everything's fine about it. So, just thought I'd tell you that. That was free. I'll not be sending no bills, none whatsoever. It's all free. I'm going to end with lighting a pipe because I love this pipe. This pipe here, I was just amazed. I made this pipe, but I was just taken back about how well it smokes. And I made two more. Here's the other one that I got. I don't have the first one I made because it was just god awful ugly. I mean, it was just as ugly as a board fence. I'm telling you, it was terrible. And I had a fella say to me, I'd like to have one of your pipes. I said, well, why? You don't smoke. I always wanted one sitting on my fireplace mantel. I said, okay, I'll give you one. I gave him the ugly one. He took a picture of it and showed it to me. He was just proud of that thing. And I'm glad he was. But I just wanted, I thought maybe I'd smoke these first thing. Had an old gentleman in Topeka, Kansas. People come in there and talk about lighting a pipe. Said, how do you light a pipe? He said, you take a match and you put it over the flame and you puff and puff and puff till you can't see. Can't see nothing in front of you. Can't see nothing to the side of you. whatsoever. And you hold it back. Let all the smoke disappear. You tamper down just a little bit. And you light her up again, and buddy, she'll smoke all the way to the bottom. I told him, I said, aren't you afraid you're going to gas somebody? And he said, I don't know. I said, well, I doubt that you will. So anyway, we'll go now, and we'll put up another one. But I wanted to stop and tell you, I so appreciate all of the response to my introductory video. That was just amazing. Just blew me right out of the water. Well, as you can see, I'm in a power chair. I can't get in the water, but if I could, I'd be blown out of it. And it was just so heartening, and it just blessed me just beyond measure. And I thank you so much for responding and being so nice and welcoming me to the YTPC community. It's just wonderful. So now I'm going to tell you what I want to try to tell you every time that we leave. I pray that the good Lord will bless you. I pray He'll shine His grace down upon you. I pray that He'll take care of every situation you have, supply every need that you have. Now until next time, we'll see you. Bye-bye.